Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to my channel. I really wanted to do a tarot reading for myself and perhaps anyone who is interested in this question of your energy and the other person's energy in this particular connection. I did not realize actually how, in a way, illuminating these cards would be, and actually, especially for the Romance Angel card, I drew it twice, and I drew the exact same pair of cards. Anyways, let's first look at these cards that I was drawing when I felt really confused and conflicted and just not in peace in general about this connection. There are some signs of hope, of a new start in this connection, and there is a lot of emotion, a lot of love to be afforded in it. There is also stability and money to be provided within it. I mean, given that this looks like a female energy from across all these cards, I would kind of more imagine that's describing me. So I still have those, but there are some still confounding factors going on. It looks like at some point, Nine of Cups usually would signify a person who is really pursuing their independence, their abundance themselves. In love readings, this is also seen as a singlehood card sometimes. But I have it in reverse, and I think that is really helping me to think about where I should try to stand vis-a-vis myself and vis-a-vis this connection. Maybe at some point in a way, you know, when you enter a relationship, you just tend to forget or lose yourself, and you lose all of the joy from the sun that you as a girl on your own could enjoy. And sad. And this one is really about loss. And in part, kind of wanting to say goodbye, or having said goodbye, or feeling that disappointment after you really let go or let loose of some of your cups. But this is a completely new deck, by the way, that I just received today, and I only bought it because I was having a lot of issues in a way, a lot of waves of emotion that I myself cannot really explain very well, understand very well, or most importantly, get in touch with very well. So I bought this deck. I thought it's really gorgeous, and it just arrived today. But this part is interesting. There's still abundant bowl there, together with these lost balls and this particular one that this girl might accidentally, or doesn't look like it, maybe she did it intentionally to let loose, but still felt a lot of loss in the way. But you always have that ball behind. That's an interesting signal that I think maybe this particular deck, it's Five of Cups, is trying to tell me. And finally, Queen of Wands in reverse. That's a pretty clear message of me supposedly being, or in some cases being, a very lively, attractive, and happy lady. With a lot of energy. She's the one who could attract all of the attention in a party, and she would happily go to one. And that person could be very spiritual too. In this particular case, look at all of those candles here. And the particular different kind of short hairstyle and almost the way she's dressed like a monk. That very vibrant part of you, of myself, that would emanate light and radiant. Would be radiant. I think it's telling me that it's in me, but I haven't realized it right now. I haven't actualized it right now, and oh my god, justice. I've pulled this card several times recently. Sometimes in reverse, sometimes upright, but that's a very clear message of... And this is the kind of the ultimate key energy here. I'm really thinking about whether the whole situation is fair, whether there's justice, equity, or resentment, or indignity in how I am treated. And that probably could be the dominating kind of thing or energy that I'm currently experiencing. And I agree. And I also do think that if I have to find an end, kind of a finale to be in all of these strings of cards, and I want to choose one, I would probably choose justice, because it's like the ultimate thing that we're seeking here. And interestingly, the two cards from Romance Angel that I drew twice in a row are Love Yourself First, always coming out first. And the first time I had it, it was in reverse. It says, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Did I lose self-love, or I never had it? Or is it that I forgot what it means over time? It's really about telling me not to be too involved or to feel too invested when I'm already feeling overwhelmed about some of the things and feel that I am personally responsible for the entirety of the situation, and just treat things in slightly lighter ways. Yeah, I guess. And interestingly, children, your love life is being affected by children. I don't really think this means something about us wanting or not wanting a child and some form of conflict like that, but it could be some other types of, to me, in my situation, I think, obligations that the person think that they have to be protective of. And it could be pets, it could be... oh, actually, they're interesting. I never noticed there are 3 dogs here. And actually, my person's dog have practically very similar color to these 3. That's interesting. I mean, and that implies a lot more than the dogs per se, but I think dogs symbolizing another important dimension of their life. It's almost like a 3 of Cups or 3 of Pentacles situation where your love life is being affected by a third party that one person feels obliged to. That's probably me. And interestingly here, there's a lot of male, it's almost all men from the classic Rider Tarot deck. Sorry. And I felt maybe they resemble what my person is thinking, or the other person is thinking. It's kind of interesting. I drew those cards first. Apparently they want to come to me slowly with their sincere gifts, stability. But they're not that magician. A magician is a powerful person, not in the sense of dominating others and taking control of things like the emperor. A magician is very powerful because, look, they're a magician. They could achieve whatever they want with infinite power, like magic. They want something and it will come true. And it's a young energy, I feel. That was actually this is actually my favorite card in the whole deck. Because the guy looks attractive. And look, he has all of the swords, wands, right? Pentacle and cups, all of everything he has, and infinity. So you are not him yet. Meaning that you might have the potential to become that magician that you want to be. One energy that I got from you when you're talking to me is how you feel powerless in actions and in engaging with me. But let's talk about these two cards first. It's really interesting, and that might be the ultimate energy that you can feel, but it could also be that this one, I don't know. These two are talking similarly about the same thing. Basically, you thought you were trying to contemplate where to go in the future, and you feel there are different things that you can choose from. And here, but apparently, you want to be a planner, or hopefully, ideally you are, but you're not yet a planner, or not a planner yet, or not really a planner. Instead, there's still this choice, ambivalence, and uncertainty of which option to take kind of energy. Maybe you feel really in limbo. You don't know what direction to move to. You might be happier just completely blinding yourself and go with your intuition. Or maybe you're just blindfolding yourself so that you don't have to see anything out there. And it seems like from day to night, from the land to the sea, you're always in that limbo. You always are trying to make some difficult decisions that you feel probably shouldn't exist in the first place. Is this choice about loss? Or is it that I already chose loss? And I choose justice. Look at how similar these cards are, in a way. I mean, isn't it like two things that you're trying to balance there? But interestingly, somewhere in your heart, 10 of Cups. Oh, I don't know, Jake. There are different interpretations now that I see it. When I first saw this card until just now, I didn't really think too much about alternative interpretations, except for the fact that usually 10 of Cups means building, it means happiness with family. And usually people would interpret as building a family with a person in this particular connection. But in your case, now that I'm suddenly thinking about it, I mean, it's a 10, right? 10 of Cups, so 10 is really about completion, perfection, not as perfection, but completion of the cycle. And it's full of this rainbow, positive, happy, emotion energy with two people and kids and a house and everything. Do you want that? Or are we talking about your origin family as a place that you could go back to? And then which one is you? Like this one? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the former interpretation is more possible. I am curious to see what guidance the Wisdom Oracle will give us in terms of your action, maybe. Because for me, it's really love yourself first and justice. I think that's the most important message that I got. Or maybe it's something that just confirmed. Ooh, I love that one. It was actually coming in reverse. Wow. I think these cards might say that never-ending story. Actually, let me take a quick look at the book. It's number 37. I thought this one is about an orphan. It's just never-ending pain. Oh, well, that's good to know. Okay. Never-ending story, essential meaning, self-criticism, the wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It's the old story, whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful past, if your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. Wow. Relationship message. Sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is, however. Right now, you have an opportunity for important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old ones. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all those narratives. None of them were ever true anyway. Okay. I have to say, if this speaks to you, there's definitely a lot about you that is too deep, maybe for you to reveal to me yet. But that description probably speaks to me in a way. I like this one, exchanging gifts. Yes, I think material gift exchange is really nice. Especially if, there's not clear kind of discrepancy between people's income these days, or if there is one, but not large or whatever. It's just nice to make small offers for both people every now and then. That is a very good thing to do, I think. And it was in reverse. It's probably saying something, describing that something that you want to work on. No place like home. Number 50. Essential meanings, authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. Authenticity is your home, you're safe here, in the house of your spirit and spirit. Relationship message. Lovers, friends, and companion animals are at home in your life right now. You're in sync and full of love, and you can be secure in the knowledge that it is reciprocated. Relationships elicit a sense of emotional safety, comfort, and the best aspect of familiarity now. Be home in this relationship. Together, you add to the love of the world. Protection message. There are times when what is familiar and known is not the best choice. Human beings are memory-driven creatures, and we all look for certainty for what we know, even if the qualities we seek in other people and external conditions are expressed in unhealthy ways. Avoid being too eager to find home. Choose something unfamiliar and trust that there you will find a new norm that supports your spirit. Remember, if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. Do the opposite of what feels right, even if it's uncomfortable, because what feels right is really what feels familiar. And you will attract and be drawn to the very things you don't want anymore. This time will not be different unless you do something different. So this card seems to have double meaning. There's a site of safety, security, and comfort, authenticity, where you feel authentic at least, like home. But it could also mean that maybe there is more to you than what home is.